So we're in day 2 of our summit. Thanks for being here this morning. I hope you all had a really good day yesterday. Before we get started, I'd like to make some introductions to some of our board members who are joining us today. So as I say your name, please stand so we know who you are. Molly O'Reilly from Sandpoint. Molly, are you here? Nora Locken, our board president. She lives in Moscow. Don Kostelik from Boise. Patrick Richechi from Boise. Michael David from Ketchum. I saw him here. There he is. And then Chris Daly from Idaho Falls. So our board is made up of some very engaged advocates, and they reside in all of your communities, or most of your communities. So please make sure that you introduce yourselves to them and talk to them about concerns you have regarding local issues in your towns. They would love to hear from you. So if you aren't familiar with the Idaho Walk Bike Alliance, we are a membership-based nonprofit, and we are funded by private grants and donations. And one of our first goals as an organization was to ensure that the TAP money, which for those of you who don't know, it's the federal money that comes into the state. It's about $3.5 million a year. And it is the bicycle and pedestrian money that we get to build infrastructure and to fund Safe Routes to School coordinators. So our first mission as an organization was to make sure that that money remained intact for bicycle and pedestrian. The way the bill is written, DOTs do have the option to take half of that money away from bike ped and put it into roads and bridges. So we worked hard with our partners all over the state to make sure that that didn't happen, and it didn't. And so now, 5 years later, we have had all these projects built around the state with that money, and it brings me great joy to see that happen every year. So very exciting. We are also your voice here at the State Capitol Building, and we track legislation that is applicable to transportation with a specific focus on walking and biking and, people outside of motor vehicles. So we've worked on a variety of issues, including things like electric bikes, eminent domain, texting while driving, distracted driving, speed limits as you travel through communities, all of these issues. And depending on the issue, we'll either write letters or testify. We do ask our members to help us. We'll send out action alerts, and we will ask people to write letters and help us when we need that. One thing that we've worked on now for several years is a Safe Routes to School bill. And we have, for 2 years now, tried to get a bill through the legislature with some success. We will continue to try to do that with our partners from American Heart Association and others. And we are not going to stop until we get dedicated state money for that Safe Routes to School program. So the reason that we're holding the summit in this building, other than that it's a beautiful facility and it has a skylight so we can see the sky, which I love, is we want all of you to feel more connected to the state process. You all work really hard at the local level. We work at the state level, and we need to have all of you help us at the state level. For example, if you do a walking event or walk to school day or a bike to school day or something like that, we ask that you and encourage you to contact your state legislators and invite them to those things. What we do at the state level directly affects all of you at your local level, so we do need to make that connection more.